Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery,
where are we going?
Mystery,
What are we?
life
Where
is a
are
riddle
we
and a
going?
mystery.
Where do we
Mystery,
come from?
mystery,
Where are we?
life is a
Where are
riddle
we
and a
going?
mystery.
Where do we
Mystery,
come from?
mystery,
What are we?
life is a
Where
riddle
are
and
we
a
going? Where do we
mystery.
come from?
Mystery,
What are we?
life is a
Where are
riddle
we
and a
going? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
So, good morning. Well, welcome to Horizon Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Pam Schuman. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm serving as your worship associate this morning. I'm joined by our worship leader, Reverend Risk Rothbauer, whose pronouns are they, them, their. As we prepare for our service this morning, please be sure to check your order of service for important announcements about congregational life, including, I guess you can see we have the program fair going on after service. Also, please set your electronic devices to worship mode. Now, let's join our voices in our responsive welcome. You'll find the words projected on the screen behind me, and let's begin. To all who are yearning for community, come in, be among us. To all who are just getting started, to all who long to go deeper, to all with tender places needing care, come in, be among us. To the ones who have healed and have care to give, to those who are curious and hungry to learn, for those who know that they have something to teach, come in, be among us. For the ones who are just beginning to suspect they might nurture others' becoming, to the young and the old, the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of mind and the deeply steeped, there is room here for each and every one. Come in, be among us. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, no matter who you are, the people you love, how you look, what you can or cannot do, you are welcome here, just as you are, in this community of care and concern. Come in, be among us. We'll continue our conversation after the service at coffee hour, where we will meet in Fellowship Hall. So welcome, and let us worship together.
We come this morning with questions on our hearts. Who am I? What will I do? Who will I love? Who will love me? Is there a love that holds me from afar? Why am I here? How do I prepare this world to be the one that will embrace my children? These questions imprint mystery on our hearts. They ask us to hold the complexities of being human, the fear of being alone, the worry of not being enough. We come together not because we are full of answers, but to hold our questions together. Because in holding our questions, we create space for the holy to slip in through the cracks in our hearts and the hidden nooks in our minds. The questions find us, call to us, beckon us, remind us that sometimes holding the questions is enough when we hold them together in community. So come, bring your questions, bring your longings and worries and fears, and place them on our collective altar to the mystery that, though yet unknown, still sings in our hearts. Let us bring our questions. Come, let us worship together.
I'm walking in the city tonight. I'm walking in the city at dawn. Remember light. Thinking of nothing and the shooting stars. And this world tonight is mine. A world to be remembered in. Think on a faded photograph. My hair longer than it's ever been. The sky lit up. The sky, my friend. The sky lit up. And I'm lighter than it's ever been. I saw the trees crossing the moon. I saw the stars and the heaven above. Shine on my own beautiful prayer. Shining on my own beautiful love. The sky lit up. The sky, my friend. The sky lit up. And I'm lighter than I've ever been. And I'm dancing with him in this city and in this town. I don't care what he's thinking of. Just take the car, just take my hand. The sky lit up. The sky lit up. The sky lit
For our chalice lighting today, we come together with thanksgiving for all that is our lives. Not sure where we are going, but with certainty that we need one another. We light our chalice for the mystery that imprints on our hearts and beckons us to seek out illumination in community, that together we may build the world that we dream of. And now, if you will join me in our affirmation, which is printed on the back of your order of service and projected on the screen. Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth, thus do we covenant together. And now I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 349 in the gray hymnal, We Gather Together.
We gather together in joyful thanksgiving, acclaiming creation whose bounty we share. Both sorrow and gladness we find in our living. We sing a hymn of praise to the life that we bear. We gather together to join in the journey, confirming, committing our passage to be a true affirmation in joy and tribulation, when bound to human care and hope, then we are free.
Go. I hope you all can hear me. So I have something that you're going to see a lot for about the next month. Have you noticed that the theme is mystery, right? So I have my mystery box, and this is based on one of my colleagues named Aisha Hauser's Wonder Box. And so we're going to be seeing this box each Sunday. It says do not open till Sunday. And it has something to do with our worship service. So I wondered if I can come and walk among you. I was wondering if there might be a young person that promises not to look in the box, but just use their hands to figure out what is inside this box. I got it. Okay. So promise, close your eyes and just stick your hand in here. Feel it. What do you think it is? Paper. It's paper. What kind of shape is it? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Well, what it is actually, what is that? A puzzle piece, yes. And I'm going to be asking for some helpers in just a minute again. And it doesn't have to be a young person helper either. So I wondered if you've ever seen like a puzzle piece lying on the ground. Or maybe it was under your couch or like, I don't know, under your table or something like that. It's really kind of hard to get an idea what the whole picture is, isn't it? Well, church is a lot like this puzzle. It's a mystery. I wonder what that could be. Okay, could take some educated guesses. So, like these pieces are a lot like Horizon because they all come together to create a whole. And so these pieces could be seen as like our ideas, our experiences, the questions and stories we bring to church. And some of us have puzzle pieces that come from reading books. Some of us have puzzle pieces that come from time in nature or study or just your own life experiences. And maybe even from happy or sad memories that you have. But when we come together and we share our puzzle pieces, we start listening to each other. We learn new ways to look at life. And slowly, like a puzzle being put together, some of the mysteries get solved for some people. We start understanding some of life's mysteries. Not all of them, but more than we could do so alone. And so here's the important part. No one has the whole puzzle. Not me, not you, even the wisest people, even people that went to seminary, for instance. Okay? And that's okay. Some mysteries are just too big for one person to understand by themselves. So when you're here at church at Horizon, whether you're in class, in worship, with a group, talking to friends, your puzzle piece matters. Please share your puzzle piece with Horizon. You may help someone get an answer to a mystery they are trying to solve. So are you wondering what this is of? Yeah? Okay, I would need a couple of volunteers to try to put the puzzle together real fast. I need about 6 volunteers. And it's okay if it's a grown-up volunteer. It doesn't have to be a kid. Oh, okay, so you have this puzzle piece. Do you want to stand up really tall? Oh, I have another helper. Okay, this one is kind of tough. You have to hold it like this, all right? Okay.
So you have to hold it?
Yeah, you have to hold it. And now I think I would like some grown-up volunteers, maybe like somebody who I know really well. Please? Grown-up volunteers, please? Would you mind going to the front and making the puzzle? Let's see, I'm trying to look for more. Oh, I do have a couple of volunteers, thank you. And I need one more volunteer. Anybody else? Can I? Thank you so much. Let's see if you can all put the puzzle pieces together, solve this mystery. And we may need to face the front so everyone can see. They're trying to put it together. We'll give them a few more moments. Uh-oh. Let's see how far they are. They're getting there. What, Miss Laura, what do you think it's going to be? Maybe a boat. Oh, it's a chalice. So I'll tell you what, helpers, thank you so much. I may ask somebody to go sit at the hands-on worship table that is over the age of 13 to put it together for us. So at this time, I'd like to call our children out to their classes. Now, let's go ahead and sing them out.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
And now we're about to take up our offering. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. It is as much a ritual as singing together, lighting our chalice, or reciting our unison affirmation. It is a reminder of that form of love we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe it is important to worship together, to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. Thank you to our members and friends who give and pledge electronically. And if you would like to give electronically, you may do so on the Breeze app or online at horizonuu.org/donate. The offering will now be joyfully given and received. Thank you for your generosity.
Joseph walked on and on the sunset, went down and down coldness, cooled their desire, and dawn said, let's build a fire.
Well, I've been asked to do a reflection today, and in thinking about it and the water service, and it's August, I have 3 things to bring to you about August that might tell me and you a little bit about who I am, where I came from, and where I'm going. So the first thing you need to know is that it's special. August is special to me because, and this service in particular, because I love water. If you're into astrology, and I'm not sure that I am, but if you are, my sign is Aquarius, the water bearer. And according to an AI review, this means that I am, despite the name and imagery of the water bearer, Aquarius is classified as an air sign, not a water sign. While water signs are associated with emotions, Aquarius, as an air sign, is linked to intellect, communication, and ideas. Okay, that gives me some answers. Besides which, I've always loved water, especially the ocean. I grew up in Queens, Long Island, New York, and the Atlantic Ocean was always nearby. And now I'm landlocked, but oh well. The fresh sea air, the comforting rhythm of the waves, the delicious salty taste and touch, the white foamy patterns made by the water's ebbing and flowing, the lightness of buoyancy. Ocean made me feel both exhilarated and small with that infinite expanse before me. Water in one form or another, whether it be release of tears, distraction of turning to work and sweat, or the release from full gravity when I'm in the sea. Water has always been a comfort to me. Another connection which has to do with August and water, and in this case, my dad. August 15th will be my dad's 120th birthday. For reasons unknown to me as a child, my dad insisted that the whole family swim in the ocean on his birthday, August 15th. He told me it was Assumption Day, the day Mary, the mother of Jesus, rose body and soul to heaven. And he went on to say that tradition held that Mary shed tears into the water as she rose, causing those who bathed in the ocean on that day to be healed of all their physical ailments. I later found this was not a Protestant thing, but a Catholic thing. and a bit mysterious because we weren't Catholic. My parents and maternal grandparents were Methodist as far as I knew, but by the time I came along, my family attended a congregational church. I was once told, on good authority, that congregationalism is one step away from Unitarian Universalism. Just take away the Trinity aspect, but keep that golden rule and everybody goes to heaven. So the mystery of my dad's original religion became clear one day in my preteen years when my mom and I were cleaning out a closet. In a box, I found my dad's christening certificate, torn in half. Yes, he had been christened a Catholic. I asked my mom, why was the certificate ripped and why was it kept? She matter-of-factly replied, he just didn't want to be a Catholic anymore. I didn't even know he was ever Catholic, but I thought that's one way of switching religions. Actually, I was to find out as the years went by that my dad loved the Transcendentalists, Emerson, Thoreau, and the others, and espoused their views wholeheartedly. I also heard my parents attended, on occasion, the UU Church in Manhattan, where my mom was impressed that UU's christened, that is her word, not mine, christened babies with a rose. She loved the gentleness. We call that child dedication now. So my family was fairly liberal in their religious views. They passed that on to me, that you should have a faith that was true to you. If other people had different religions, who were we to say that those other religions weren't also true for them? Maybe God wanted it that way. I guess I took this to heart, because by the time I was 12 and my church was trying to confirm me, I strongly objected to being given a list of 100 questions to which I had to memorize the prescribed answers. One question was, in whom do I believe? God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. This Trinity business was already not setting well with me, and I strongly objected to being told what to believe. I guess I was on the path of UUism even that early. As for the rest of that story, fortunately, I escaped confirmation because it was to take place on Easter Sunday and we were on vacation for spring break. Never got confirmed. However, like father, like daughter, somehow I still have that list of questions. I didn't rip it up, But it is tucked inside my little black leather King James Bible, inscribed with my name in gold lettering. Why did he keep his? Why am I keeping mine? Did I know where I was going then? Of course not. But this brings up another fateful August memory, the third one, from 1988. And this is the horizon part. My then husband, who was raised Jewish, and I were looking for a place where our two young boys could be raised and given a historical perspective on religion in general, but Judeo-Christian in particular. We knew we weren't going to get that in the Texas schools. But we had not found ourselves any use for organized religion, so we did not feel we were up to it, but we wanted to do it for the kids. We came across a tiny ad in the newspaper that spoke of a new church in Farmers Branch. Remember, this was 1988, no internet, no nothing, no social media. It was a Unitarian Universalist one. We weren't quite sure what that meant, but we thought it was worth a look. We researched it a little, but decided we better go first before we let the kids be exposed to it. So on a hot August Sunday, you know what I mean, we walked in the door of Horizon UU Church, located in some unpretentious rented space in a strip shopping center in Farmers Branch. No one was around except for a lovely older lady with brilliant white hair and twinkling eyes and ever-ready smile, and she was on her knees painting the baseboards. Do y'all know who I'm talking about? Marty Robinson. What better way to introduce to UUism? She told us that a minister had been called and that we should come back in September when regular services would begin. We did. It's 37 years later. My boys are grown into fine human beings with their own families. They can still recite our affirmation by heart, but better yet, they live by it. And I'm still here, even now, driving 80 miles round trip from Fort Worth on a Sunday to be here when I can. This part is not so much a mystery. I love it here. I get all kinds of nourishment and comfort and friendship and everything here. I've watched Horizon grow and me grow with it. And while our dream of a beautiful permanent building came into reality in 1995, it's not the building that really matters. It's what you find here. Loving good people. People who know, as Carl Sagan would say, that the meaning of life is to give life meaning. You all give meaning to life, to me, and for everyone that knows you. So I hope that the waters of August bless you and comfort you, give you peace, give you happiness, and thank you for listening.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
We take time to honor the sorrows and joys of this community, knowing that we are all interconnected and that what affects one affects us all. Evie Sutton shares a joy. State exam passed, stage walked. I am officially a licensed social worker. And in the wider world, we remember the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and 9th, 1945. May the remembrance of these acts strengthen our commitment to working towards peace. and we light a candle this morning to honor all the joys and sorrows which have gone unspoken and reside only in our hearts. Friends, please join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation in whatever way feels right. Spirit of life and love, gods and goddesses of many unknown names, we come this morning with a sense of awe for many mysteries that are our lives, for those joys that remind us of the holiness of our lives. We give thanks, and we shed tears for those sorrows that remind us of the brokenness of the world, and ask for comfort in these times. When it seems there is so much despair, may we be reminded of the power that comes from being together in community to encourage and comfort, because we are more powerful than we are alone. For these things we pray. Blessed be.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where do Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Our reading today comes from Ada Limón. Arching under the night sky, inky with black expansiveness, we point to the planets we know. We pin quick wishes on stars. From Earth, we read the sky as if it is an unerring book of the universe, expert and evident. Still, there are mysteries below our sky. The whale song, the songbird singing, its call in the bough of a wind-shaken tree. We are creatures of constant awe, curious at beauty, at leaf and blossom, at grief and pleasure, sun and shadow. And it is not darkness that unites us, not the cold distance of space, but the offering of water, each drop of rain, each rivulet, each pulse, each vein. O second moon, we too are made of water, of vast and beckoning seas. We too are made of wonders, of great and ordinary loves, of small and invisible worlds, of a need to call out through the dark.
And he was walking in the garden, and he was walking in the night, and he was singing a sad love song, He was praying for his life, and the stars came out around him. He was thinking of his sins, and he's looking at his songbird, and he's looking at his wings. There inside the garden came another with his lips. Said, won't you come and be my lover? Let me give you a little kiss. And he came, knelt down before him, and he fell upon his knees. I will give you gold and mountains if you stay a while with me. And there was trouble taking place. Trouble taking place. Inside the garden, they kissed and the sun rose, and he walked a little further, and he found he was alone, and the wind, it gathered round him. He was thinking of his sins, and he's looking for his songbird. He was looking for his wings. And there was trouble taking place. Trouble taking place. There was trouble taking place. Trouble taking place.
When I was a kid, I yearned to go to school. Unlike so many of my classmates, I loved every day in the classroom as an opportunity to learn something new. My heart fluttered at how majestic the monarch butterfly migration was, and learning to read new words was like a sweet dessert for my inquisitive mind. I remember coming home from school every day and telling my parents about how many new facts I crammed in my head that day, and they sat and listened patiently as if it was all stuff they didn't know. I really looked forward to every new day at school, searching for more opportunities to find out about my place in the world. But as time went by and I advanced to new grades and more responsibility, more and more of my schooling seemed to become less about learning about the world and more about proving what I already knew. The first week of class often revolved around torturous placement tests that rubbed my love of learning like sandpaper. And this set the tone for the rest of the year. There is still a lot to learn, but an increasingly large amount of our time together was devoted to standardized testing and making the school look as good as humanly possible. Yeah. The longer this arrangement continued, the more I stopped caring about school. I still had a love of learning, but I felt I had to nurture it by myself through a regiment of reading and self-discovery. But my middle school, I was so tired of it all that I looked for every excuse I could to stay home sick. What was that, a flutter in my face? That must mean I'm getting the flu. When I dropped out of high school, my biggest worry was how much I was disappointing others by not living up to their expectations, not the curriculum I was missing out on by leaving. I don't blame my teachers, having now spent some time on the other side of the teacher's desk. I know that most educators go in with the best of intentions and soon find themselves crushed under the weight of state standards and pressure from administrators to perform. The best of them find ways to balance these demands with their vocation, but too often they find that it's just too much, and they just do what they have to in order to get by. Some even leave education altogether when it becomes too much, a psychic wound on the soul of a person who just wanted to help others develop a life of love of learning. As Ada Limón suggests to us in our reading this morning, mystery, these mysteries that we are composed of, can unite us. But it sometimes seems, doesn't it, that our world isn't set up to hold our questions, to offer space for them to inspire and shape us. It took time away from school to rest for my 13 years of public school before I was able to reintegrate my curiosity about the world with formal schooling and find a sense of balance, enough to take yet another standardized test, the GED. Ugh! So I could go to college. It was there that I suddenly realized what I'd been lacking in so much of my formal schooling. Yes, there were still requirements that felt like busy work at times, but the overall atmosphere was one of open learning where it seemed no question was off limits. I felt my professors were there for my learning, and my peers were just as hungry to eat up as much as that tasty buffet as I was. It was then that I was able to articulate what I was looking for, a place where I could bring my questions, where my desire to understand the world was nurtured by people who were just as curious about the world as I was. More than this, though, I wanted a way to integrate this into my very existence. Eventually, I felt some of this love for learning quelched, at least in formal institutions, and I've searched for it elsewhere because I no longer see the nurturing of my curiosity as an optional luxury, but necessary to my thriving. I've come to realize over the years that there is a primal human desire to explore mystery, to learn about this world that we live in. As John Dewey once said, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Not all of us have the same interests. I'd be scared if you all had the same interests as me. It'd be quite a boring world. Some of the philosophy and theology that interests me might bring you to tears. But I feel confident in saying that we're all learners at heart, and there's something we're interested in. Don't believe me? Let's talk for about a half hour. Go ahead, schedule the pastoral care call now. I bet something will come out you care about. I've talked about the intricacies of sports and the plots of television shows and movies with people who would have sworn they weren't the learning types, but knew more about these subjects than I ever have. I suspect this is an evolutionary advantage for humans. The more curious we are about the universe, the more likely we are to survive, since we're looking for ways to overcome the problems life throws at us. Find ways to gather food and outwit those predators who would have us for their next meal. Because of our ability to analyze situations and curiosity about how the world works. In the modern world, this sort of love of solving mysteries can also make the world a better place. As Nelson Mandela once put it, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. I've said it so many times, but when people complain to me about the social and political problems of our day and how they are supposedly intractable and unchangeable, I think what we're lacking isn't lack of ability, but lack of imagination. And maybe what we need to do is view our issues not as impossible conundrums, but mysteries to solve. But first, we need institutions that nurture this sort of curiosity and encourage us to unleash our full potential and shift the very trajectory of the world. And that starts by having a variety of places where people can nurture this love of the mystery outside traditional school and work settings. We need places that encourage us to keep looking at mystery. When I think about my own life, the fact that I was raised on shows like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Square One and 3-2-1 Contact, meant that I was taught from a young age just how fun solving mysteries could be. I still remember a young preschool me sitting in front of the television watching with tears in my eyes while Big Bird grappled with the mystery of death, or laughing gleefully as Oscar the Grouch learned a valuable lesson about sharing that he'd forget the next week. I still remember Ernie's song, "I Would Like to Visit the Moon." If I'm honest, I go and watch it on YouTube on occasion. And how the beautiful melody reminded me of the importance of home. What I wish someone had told me was that this joy for learning never needs to end. And in a day and age when those in power are actively seeking to dismantle and defund the very institutions that nurtured my love of learning, we need ways to continue to encourage minds of all ages to solve the great mysteries that the world presents. For me, this is what attracted me to Unitarian Universalism. From the first time I walked in my church's door in the city center of Sheffield, I felt welcome, yes, in my identities, but also with all of my questions. My desire to learn and grow was nurtured as I found community that held me. The old beautiful chapel was a place where I could go for shelter, for sanctuary from those who would ask for unthinking faith for what I could not accept. It held my questions like, what is the meaning of life? Where could I go to find my people? Is there anything beyond this life? Who will love me? And most importantly, what do I want to be when I grow up? As I continued to progress in my growth, I realized that religious education wasn't just the classes and small groups I was in, but every minute of our time together as a congregation. I was in hiking groups and church outings, and my heart leaped for being part of a group who felt like my people, who I believed and continue to believe would nurture me, and I them down the path of life. Here's the thing. Church can be such a place where our life's questions might not all be answered, but they can be held by our fellow sojourners. And let me tell you something that's dangerous for someone to say in my position. It's not because of the minister. It's not because of the DRE or any one person or even any one group. It is this way because the community, every year when we come back together on ingathering, when we nurture our communal waters, we open ourselves up to the vulnerability that comes with questions. Because our questions are important and deserve to be taken seriously. Because our questions are part of who we are. I wonder what questions you're holding this ingathering season. You don't have to say them out loud unless you really want to. But they are held and they are important and they are holy. Let us be architects together of our growth and transformation. There's one thing that I know for sure, it's that I'm never going to have all the answers, even if I live to be as old as Betty White. Or even most of them. Maybe that's for the best. But I've come to realize over the years that part of why Unitarian Universalism is so important to my spiritual path is because this is a place where my questions are held and I'm encouraged to grow and transform. And as we embark on a path of looking at what it means to question mystery this month, let's be reminded of that. This place informs my life and it helps me. You help me to be the best person I can be. May this be such a place for you.
Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery.
Feel free to join us on any part you like.
Mystery.
You can find the notation in your hymnal. Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery.
Every year in August, after we come back together in the summer, like many UU congregations around the country, we celebrate the water ceremony as a way of reminding ourselves of the power of mingling the waters of our lives and community. Water is a part of the mystery of community. Bodies of water come together into one in a way that creates new basins that would not exist on their own. Creeks flow into rivers, rivers flow to the sea. Our lives flow into one another, interdependently, proof that we are part of something larger than ourselves. As we celebrate the ceremony, let us do it in silence, letting the music be our only guide, in order that we may reflect on the power of water. And in a moment, we'll invite you to come forward through this. Please come forward through the center aisle. Don't be a rebel this time at least and come up on the sides. And then come back down the sides. If you brought water with you, you're invited to bring forth your water to mix it in. If you did not bring water with you, there is water here from the sacred springs of the Horizon Kitchen that you might use for the ceremony this morning. This year, we're also doing something a little different. There are also cards here that represent the water of tears, the water of cleansing and renewal, the water of nourishment, the water of change. As you pour the water into the bowl, we invite you to take one of these cards with you. Don't take too long to decide which one feels best, but just take the one that is calling to you right now. You can read it silently in your heart and take it home with you, that you might be reminded of how this community holds you. After you pour the water, we're also inviting you to receive a blessing of last year's ingathering water. Now, what you'll do, and if you have Catholic background, this will seem familiar, but we invite you to dip your fingers in and just touch your head as a reminder of the way that the waters resonate down through the history of this church and continue to hold you, just as they have for multiple generations. And please don't worry, Pam did boil it, so it has been boiled. So, the remaining water will be mingled afterwards with this year's water, and we'll save some of it for next year. So we invite you now to come down the aisles. If you need assistance, please let Pam or me or an usher know, and we will be happy to assist you.
And they came to the river, and they came from the road, and he wanted the sun just to call his own. And they walked on the dirt, and they walked from the road till they came from the river, till they came up close. Throw your pain in the river, and we followed the river, and we followed the road, and we walked through this land, and we called it a home, but he wanted the sun, and I wanted the whole. And the white light scatters, and the sun sets low, like a pain in the river, like a pain in the river, like a white light scatters, to be washed away slow. Like a pain in the river, like a pain in the river, like the way life scattered, to be washed away slow.
May these waters here mingled remind us of the mystery that happens when we come together, helping one another to grieve, renew, and sustain our lives as we work to build a world that overflows with justice and equity. Blessed be.
We extinguish this flame, but not our commitment to welcome radically, love boldly, grow spiritually, and serve courageously. This we do because we envision a beloved community filled with compassion, helping all to thrive in a just world. And now I'd like to invite you to rise in body and spirit as you are able and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 288 in the gray hymnal, All Our Architects.
All our architects of fate, working in these walls of time, some with massive deeds and great, some with ornaments of rhyme. For the structures that we raise, time is with materials filled. Our todays and yesterdays are the blocks with which we build. Build today then strong and sure, with a firm and ample base, our ascending and secure shall tomorrow find its place.
We are all architects of this community where we come together to seek mystery, to find comfort, to build community, because we need one another if we are to make it through this life, through the many streams that direct our lives. May we hitch our boats together that we may find a way to build a world full of justice, equity, compassion, and belonging, a world where all of us are treated with the dignity that is our birthrights. We take the fire within us and share it with others as we go. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace.
All are architects of fate, working in these walls of time, some with massive deeds and great, some with ornaments of rhyme. Hey folks, for those who don't know me, or maybe new, I am Kelvin Sabo. I'm the director of music here. I wanted to thank the musicians who helped bring me this PJ Harvey songs to you. Today, newer faces including Elliot Nadel on piano and Chase Sturdivant on trumpet. I also direct our choir, which is resuming rehearsals that are weekly on Wednesdays at 7 here, and we sing every other Sunday during the service. If your hesitation in joining is, oh no, I can't sing, you're wrong. But if you have any joy, curiosity, interest with music, come see me and Jamie at our table in the program fair, to which you should go now. Go in peace.